Hello and welcome back to the Unleashed podcast and my Cassie Imber Wellness YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be back. I've had all of these thoughts, like when you take such a break from something, which I've been in complete hibernation period for like 3 or 4 months, and I think it's actually quite, well, it's not a bad thing, not necessarily important, but I want to ask you, how often do you take a step back and actually audit the things that you do in your life? And I feel like over the last few months, I always get kind of affected by seasonal depression and like just don't really feel good in winter, but I was feeling quite down on myself and lost interest in everything that usually lights me up. But that allowed me to be reminded of why I actually like those things, but from a whole new perspective. So I started to suddenly not care about social media, even though I've posted like 5 days a week since I was 21, since I decided that I wanted to build my personal brand online and be an influencer. And I love social media my whole life. And then suddenly, like, I just didn't care. I was like, I don't care. But from that, I was able to see actually I like the creative aspect of it. I love creating content. I love pouring my thoughts into something. I love taking nice photos. I love making a positive impact, even if it's on one person's life. So it doesn't matter how many people see. Of course, the more people that see, the more people that can benefit, or the more people that I can connect with, or that we can create a community from. But it allowed me to reconnect with my why. Then I didn't care about bodybuilding. I was like, should I even compete again? Should I even hop on the stage again? Why do I even do this? I can't be bothered going to the gym. And like, why do I want to do another show and a prep when it takes so much out of you and out of your life? So I didn't care about it. And then I was like, well, that girl, that woman who is on stage, I already know what my bikini is going to be. That's the most exciting part, because the design of that encompasses who you are at that moment in time. And I love the freedom that FMG provides with being able to dress yourself how you please. And why do I want to do bodybuilding? Because that woman is the highest version of me. When I was in prep last year, that was actually the happiest I'd been. And people would think, even though you're on a cut, you're on a diet, isn't that like absolutely miserable? But I actually started eating more vegetables. I started showing up for myself more, saying no to more things that don't align. It was the same time my DJing was blowing up. So I was just at raves every weekend, like getting hotter and hotter, more ripped, like dressing up in cool rave outfits, going out with my girlfriends. And my car broke down at the same time a guy I was seeing ended things, and I just fully went all in on my goals for 3 months and became the best version of me beyond my wildest dreams. So that's why I will compete again, because the woman who can achieve that, she's showing up for herself, she is feeding herself properly, she is training with intention and consistency, she is being serious about her goals. Like, that woman, when you have all those things in check, it filters through to all other areas of your life. Then I was like, okay, I don't care about music. I didn't even care about DJing. I still haven't actually pulled my decks out properly for like a while, and I've got a few gigs coming up, so I will have to get them out. But I was like, I just don't care about music. Like, why am I even trying to be a DJ? Should I just give up now? But then I realized music is who I am. If I go more than like 4 weeks without going to a rave, I'm like depressed. I can like be having a not good time and then just go to a rave or a bush off, and I'm like, oh, that's all I needed. So I do music because it's who I am, and you can't just do, well, I can't just do one thing. Like, if I just focused on my wellness business, I need a lot of diversity, and it's like my thing to break up all of the other work. Then I'm like, well, I don't care about YouTubing and podcasts, so what do I do with this? And I love having the online with the long form community. I love sharing my perspectives, ideas, and knowledge that are more than just 30 seconds long. I love actually sucking at something new. Every time I make a YouTube video, something stuffs up. You should see my setup now. I've got my computer chair on top of my shoebox with my new fluffy boots on top of 2 protein cardboard boxes with my little tripod and a light. And I had to move the light from behind me from my computer desk. And like I don't have a screen showing me what's actually filming, so sometimes I'll like film and it hasn't recorded, or sometimes the audio stuff's up. Sometimes I've filmed a whole thing with broccoli in my teeth before, or lipstick on my teeth, or I'll film something and yeah, like the audio hasn't connected or it's out of focus. Like every time you're like, oh, that thing sucked, so you can improve for next time. And even though you kind of just wish that you were fantastic, that is part of the fun. It's just getting better every time. And then last but not least, with my OnlyFans, I was like, I hadn't really logged on for like 3 months. Like I logged on like once a month for like 3 months. I haven't posted anything new, haven't made anything new, haven't put anything on the main feed. And I was like, is this really in alignment with what I want to do? Because I've got really cool idea I just need to execute. But I was thinking about it and thinking about it, but I still just like having that platform of freedom and a place to express my sexuality. And just I love just taking those pictures that help me see myself in a new light. Like I don't even need to do it for money anymore. Having OnlyFans is the only reason I was able to stay in Australia when I couldn't work, like due to being sick and you can't get the benefit from the government over here. So it's honestly helped me so much in my life. I never made like heaps, but definitely enough to like pay my bills, pay my rent. Has been a lifesaver on many different occasions, and just to pay for extra stuff like medical bills or food and gas in today's economy, when I was on minimum wage this whole time up until recently. And I was like, well, is it really in alignment with what I want to do? And I think the vision is switching away from the alignment of what how someone else envisioned it for me, but more for how I envision it for me. And I believe my body is art, and I love doing those nude photo shoots like silhouette. I've done some crazy things like gold foil. It's actually artwork, and I love just taking like cheeky little photos that make me feel nice. So why not like make money? I don't care if people see or not. I'm past the point of people caring or like worrying what people think of me. And you'll laugh as well, like when I worked at the gym, there's certain people I'd think like, oh my god, once they find my social media and they find out I do that, like they're not going to speak to me again. And those are the people that are like, yeah, get it girl, on all my posts and stuff. Like, yeah, people are when you're around the right people, they accept you for who you are, and they know that even if they don't do it, it doesn't matter if you do or not, as long as you're happy. So that was a bit of a long intro, but I just wanted to explain that little hibernation thing. I feel like a few people have been going through that and feeling like they've wanted to retreat from the world and reflect on a lot of things and recalibrate. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all, because how often do you just wake up and do the same thing over and over and not actually reflect on why you're doing anything that you're doing, or is there a better way of doing it, or is what you're doing still even in alignment? So if you like talks like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel or the podcast, and you can connect with me for more daily content on Instagram at Cassie Amber Wellness, and I post sometimes on TikTok as well. So let's get into it. You know I love going against the grain, so of course I'm going to talk about why doing less helps you achieve more. You know, I do the opposite of everyone. I rebel against like society and what we're supposed to do. I do the opposite and I show you the results. So first up is fitness. I met someone the other day who is training for a bodybuilding show, and this isn't to be mean or to shame. This is just stating a fact and explaining the scenario. So they were 10 weeks out. It's a male. They don't look like they do bodybuilding, and they're training 3 times a day, and they're training for strength. So yes, you need to lift heavy, yes, you need to use progressive overload, but training for strength and training for aesthetics are different things. And I'm not a personal trainer, I'm not a fitness coach, so I might not have like the most perfect way of explaining it. I don't always have like the most perfect form. I'm still learning as I go. This is just my way of explaining my experience. But I lift a third lighter than what I used to 2 years ago when I decided to grow my glutes because I realized they were actually out of proportion. I had to retrain my brain how to work out. So when I do hip thrust, for example, I see these girls online doing 150 kgs. And yes, they've probably built up their strength over time, and that's with the barbell. So I'm not sure exactly how much the hip thrust machine weighs that I use, but the max I add is 5 kg. And that includes like machine weight as well, so it's a bit more than that. But instead of using my whole body weight to thrust and like bending my lower back and like torso or just doing like these tiny pulses, I filmed it the other day. So slowly lowering down, like 1, 2, 3, and then pushing up with your glutes. And then I do like a slight pelvis tilt at the top, like pushing my hips under. And then back down again, 1, 2, 3, all the way down so that your glutes are almost touching the bottom, and then using your glutes to push up. So a lot of people, they're just doing like these little pulses, or say for example, if you're doing a reverse lunge, that's another popular one. People always ask me how much I squat. I don't even do squats in my program. So say a reverse lunge, you can go down and lift pretty heavy and just like use your whole weight and both legs, like, and your core and everything, like boom, to get you back up. Or what I do is like go down and then I'm like really leaning into the front leg and pushing through the heel mostly to really get that glute driving it up and like taking a fast step back kind of thing and leaning right forward. So making those little adjustments, using the muscle to do the movement. Another one of my favorites is horizontal single leg press. So I'm going all the way down, turning on the glute and pushing through instead of just going like boom, boom, like not having any kind of like mental connection or awareness and just lifting as heavy as possible. So lifting lighter is actually blowing up my body more. Same as leg extensions. I used to do around like between 55 and 65 kg, which was my body weight. And the other day I was doing 20 and had to bring it down to 15 for the last set. And I was like grunting out loud. And if you're not grunting at least a little bit during your sets, you're not training hard enough. So that's just one of the examples of doing less is in the gym. So utilizing, instead of going like 6 days a week, smashing your whole body, doing all these HIIT classes, showing up no matter what, I am against that rule. Proper activation, time under tension, full range of motion, tempo, allowing proper recovery. So when this man was talking to me, like he doesn't even look like he's about to compete, but this is his first show, which is fine. But people are shocked when I go into the gym and I'm lifting like pretty light and I'm actually struggling because I'm activating the right muscles. Another way that you can do less to achieve more, what I mentioned earlier about being in comp prep, saying no to more things. You don't need to go to every event. You don't need to see every friend all the time. I'm so grateful for my friends that they all understand because they're all business owners and some of them are holding down full-time jobs as well and having all these other side projects. If especially also being like a DJ and going to raves and stuff, when I decided to have this little 8-week hibernation period just to focus on my health and my sleep and kind of just go inward, there's events that are on. I can go out if I want, but I just choose the best ones. Like if I'm out every weekend, it really does take a toll on my sleep schedule. Like sometimes I get home at like 3 or 4 in the morning because I live almost an hour away from the city. By the time you get to sleep, the sun's coming up, so you have a few hours sleep, like do a few errands on the Sunday, try to get an early night, go to work on the Monday, and then the Tuesday is kind of when you're still just coming right. So like it really does take it out of you, and raves are a big part of my life and make me really happy, and I'll factor them in. I even had my dream gig the week, like right as peak week started last year. So I'll factor it in no matter what. But just because there's like a rave on or a cool event on, or even just something that your friends are going to, like, oh, come to this festival, you don't need to go if you have goals. If you want to, and the artists are people that you've wanted to see for ages, or it's like a friend's special occasion that's a hell yes for you, then go. But you don't need to. Like, I'm such a homebody. I just like being at home by myself. So reassess your current schedule and look at what projects are still in alignment or what are kind of just going nowhere or a waste of time. See if you can take things off your schedule that no longer matter, and say no to more people. Number 3 is dialing in a few key goals instead of being so scattered and trying to view things in seasons. So I'm struggling with this at the moment because there's so much I want to do, and I'm having all these thoughts come up around my age, even though I love getting older. But I'm like, there is pretty much is a time limit on these things. Like I don't have 100 years. Like my bodybuilding idol is like 37, I think, and I'm 29 this month. But there's girls way younger than me, like 5 years younger, with way bigger quads than me. So I'm like, time is ticking kind of thing. And also as you get older, like it's hard, yeah, like it is a little bit harder with your recovery and fat loss and things like that. So yeah, there's so many things I want to do. I'm like, what is the main focus first kind of thing. And also with DJing, you can't really, like, you can only get so far without producing your own music. And I never really wanted to produce. It sounds so overwhelming, the thought of it, but you can't just play other people's music and like keep getting booked kind of thing. So that's another thing that's been on my goals list for a while, is to release my own track. So I need to download the software, I need to get lessons from people, get all the samples, put the track together. Like it takes months to like release a track, like a long time. So I'm kind of like looking at my schedule now, like, okay, how can I restructure my weeks and maybe put a different category on different days, like maybe content creation this day, maybe have my music days on Fridays, maybe have my life admin day and errands on this day, or working on my business like here. So I'm still trying to restructure that as I'm coming out of this hibernation, but try to look at things as seasons. Like when I'm in bodybuilding prep, that's got to be the main focus. And even now I'm trying to build until the end of the year, it's got to be like pretty much the top focus kind of thing, and everything else just is on the side or beneath it. And number 4 is my best ideas and manifestations have come to me when I've had the most time off, resting and free time in my schedule. So one of the examples of this was when I had chronic hives and I was bedridden for 4 months. I was just in bed every day, like staying in such a high vibe mindset, and you notice like when you wake up every day and the only thing on your mind is like, oh, trying to eat breakfast in time before you get out the door, and then spending all day at your job, and then trying to get to the gym, and then coming home, getting dinner, like doing some cleaning, coming home. If you have a partner, trying to like spend time with them. You're just in this cycle every day. And if you're trying to think of ideas, they're not going to come to you if you're trying to think of ideas. But when I'm out walking the dog, I'll have like 5 ideas or something, or like one revolutionary thing that I need to write down on my phone. When I'm having time off, yeah, I don't know, just like extended periods of time off, like when I had hernia surgery or when I've been unwell, being in my feminine energy is when I've been able to zoom out on my life and actually analyze everything. But when you're caught up in the hustle and bustle, you're just doing, and in your masculine. So doing less actually helps you get better ideas to up level more in life and become more of who you're supposed to be in your highest timeline. And like rest equals success, especially for women. Like not being actually lazy and like not actually ever taking action. I've been struggling with that too, trying to be like a perfectionist and then putting all of these steps in front of actually releasing something because I think it's got to be perfect, or I've got to do all these different tasks or steps first. So you actually do need to like work and get stuff out there. But instead of like when I had 3 jobs, I'm earning more now that I quit my jobs because I can live in my highest timeline in Icon Energy, which was my theme word for the year. So I hope you found these tips interesting. Let me know if you've got any other ideas in the comments below on how doing less can help you achieve more, or if you've experienced positive benefits from any of the things that I've mentioned. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.